Yeah, man. We're Diversity. We're back with another video. So today I want to talk about. I need to hit the infinite before I'm so focused on conquest right now. Probably once I beat gold, then I'll focus on getting to infinite on the ladder. How long do we got on conquest this season? So you gotta wait 3 weeks for it. That is crazy. Yeah, I probably might get my infinite ticket then ignore conquest. But conquest right now has been really great, and that's what we're here for, to talk about a great conquest deck that I've been running. Now, I'm quick to run to the hills. Anytime I give a deck game like you guys gotta try this deck, it's usually after like less than 10 runs with the deck. But I will say last night I just kept getting beat in silver, and I was like, silver was a breeze for me. Like, I literally strode through conquest my first I want to say I really believe, I think I like didn't lose a single conquest game until I got to infinite. I strongly feel like I didn't lose any games till I got the infinite on conquest. So right now I had just thought, let me go back to the drawing board and find something I'm used to, something that works. And I realized Surfer is got to be the most consistent deck you can run. All right, so like I said, here's the deck. Marvel at its glory. Like I said, Surfer is one of the more consistent decks when it comes to snap, and because you don't like, it's not like you really have win conditions. You just have a lot of solutions to a bunch of problems, and you can get decent power. Now this one, this time around, I made this deck. I was like, I usually throw Sarah in my decks. This time I didn't care so much because it didn't feel like one of those ones where I needed a high volume of threes, because I just needed the right cards at kind of the right times, and that's not always a good thing, but it's not too hard with this deck. So the biggest thing is to note. So Professor X is that. So we have a few good options here, right? If we're going against Spider Ham, which is a big problem, we can negate him pretty well with Professor X. Professor X is not needed in any capacity, but he is there. Now, the reason for Professor X is to go ahead and capture a lane. Maybe that's with Brood. Maybe that's with maybe we could even run Juggernaut. If they play a bunch of one drops, we Killmonger, then we Professor X when the gap's there. Polaris even. There's a lot of high power. We usually don't want to use. I've done this. I've used the Maximus trick and still won, where I played Maximus because I just felt like I really needed to play Professor X. Maximus did that. So I knew they had like a good chunk of more cards. I juggernauted them to win the final turn. So it's pretty stable. Debris. I don't know why Destroy's been really popular, but you can disrupt Destroy a little bit if it takes a little bit of timing. Especially if they're running Sabretooth, it's a lot easier because in turn 3 they'll probably be playing Sabretooth, and then you play Debris and you lock that lane up and they can't do anything unless they have a Killmonger or something. But even then, it slows them down from pulling out a Carnage or a Venom, right? So there is a lot of utility, I believe, in this deck. And in Rogue, in a normal just climbing the ladder infinite, Rogue is not that great. I will tell you, the best card that I've seen, or I just knew going into Conquest that Rogue was gonna be golden. I knew it. I was just it's no way, no one's competing. Because there's the two things that go on when it comes to Conquest. You see it, and consistently, I always consistently see a negative deck. Because why? Negative decks net you huge cube amounts because people don't know that you're trying to play Iron Man, Mystique, and a ton of other stuff. So it's a lot easier to snap and no one reacts, right? So that's why if people don't know why you snapped, or but if you're smart and you see a negative player snap, even though it can feel like he might be bluffing, it's probably best to leave that match because you don't want to lose 4 cubes because they got a good draw from their negative. And if you're running a negative deck, it's not a bad idea to snap just to get some probably quick leaves. If you do get your negative off early or something, even if you don't get the right cards, you might can convince someone you did and get them to leave. But anyways, yeah, so this deck's pretty good, pretty solid. We really went for utility here with Rhino able to kind of help us out if we need to. I won a game. I snapped on turn like 5. I shut down a lane on turn 5, and then it was a limbo. Limbo was on the map, so it was a 7-turn game. I played Rhino turn 6, and they left then they left the other lane open. They thought they had an extra turn, but they did not, sadly. So they lost 4 cubes because they was kind of setting up for a turn 7, and they didn't get their turn 7. So and also Rhino's just really good for any time the opponent has an advantageous. I'm trying to say it right. I think I said it right there. Advantage. When they have an advantage somewhere, you want to Rhino it ASAP, especially when you know their deck. Probably after a game or two, you're like, oh, okay. I know this helps them a lot. Let me Rhino it. Even like Karmatage, right? Like, I would love Karmatage for Surfer. And funny enough, with this deck too, I don't think I've won like only one game actually playing Surfer at the end. I hardly ever play Surfer. Funny enough, Surfer like never has like barely gotten gameplay. Also, just kind of let me go over some more cards in depth. So Shadow King. So there's 2 cards, Rogue and Shadow King. Very, very good complement cards for each other, because one does one thing really well and the other one does the opposite, but either way it disrupts big power cards from like ability wise. So like if a card, and then Valk is really good too for like a vanilla card, like a regular Hulk, but like Rogue can stop the bigger cards such as like Darkhawk and Devil Dinosaur. And then you have Shadow King, who can stop cards like a Hit Monkey and Bishop, and you know, a lot of those bounce cards, Bishop, Collector. Like I had played, I won another game, 8-cubed them, and a guy thought he was finna win with and this is all just in 3 games of Conquest. I got to go in like 3 games, and I won. I want to say the last 2 games I played, I won in 2 games. So it took me a total like 6, 7 game, 8 maybe games to get to go from the proving ground. So this deck has potential. I never like just pin out these decks, because then, I mean, there's so many Snap players, and I know my videos don't get too many views, so I'm not worried about like my deck being so known that it's unplayable. But that's the thing about Snap. I love how many decks there are, and just because you might can tell, hey, oh, this is a Surfer deck, you cannot tell what the deck might encompass. So, Sentinel. Okay, let me just kind of cover a little bit more cards. Like I said, I talked about Rogue, Shadow King. Polaris is pretty obvious, but another thing with her is she is disruptive when it comes to Galactus. She can pretty much disrupt Galactus if we can't generate more power. Because now Galactus, if you can generate more power than Galactus, then you're good that way too. I can Juggernaut Galactus if I got priority and I know where he wants to play. But that could backfire if he has two open lanes. Yeah, we have stops for Galactus. We have stops for Bounce. We have stops for even, I think, Phoenix Force, because you can. I don't know for sure. Let me read Shadow King's text again. Set all cards here to the original base price. I think with Phoenix, like if she picks up a Human Torch and moves the Human Torch, I think if we Shadow King the Human Torch, he becomes a 2-power, even with the Phoenix attached to him, I believe. So So, all right. So, yep, Shadow King. So like, really great utility. Not that great, like I said. And like, if you're just playing, I think if you're climbing like the ranked infinite ladder, not that great. But for conquest, people are playing certain decks. You're gonna play Darkhawk. You're gonna play Devil Dinosaur. You're gonna play Iron Man negative decks. You're going to play bounce decks. This counters just about all of it unintentionally. This is just that. Well, it's not unintentional. A lot of these cards I threw in there because I knew they would have a purpose in conquest. Oh, Sentinel. I keep looking at him and I keep saying I'm displaying all the cards. But yeah, everyone here has a purpose. Professor X is to help me win it, because this deck does struggle to win 2 lanes. If I can Professor X a lane, turn 5, and then all I have to do is win another lane. That's pretty doable. Especially if I'm running Rogue, like I said, Shadow King. It's pretty easy to win another lane when you have these cards. If you can get off the Professor X successfully, it's pretty easy to win another lane. A lot of times though, with cards like this, look at it. Like, point out, I just want anyone to point out an issue with the deck they see. And the first one that comes to my mind is clearly, you're not gonna want to play all these cards all the time. Ever. Like, just look at it. Like, a lot of times you're not gonna want to play Killmonger turn 3. You're not gonna want to play Maximus turn 3. You're not gonna want to play Juggernaut turn 3. Debris is probably the only card that I can play almost at any turn with no problem. Brood is also another one of those, but there are certain cards you do not want to play so early, and it's very clear you can't play Surfer until turn 6 unless you for sure know that you have other plans for turn 6. Then maybe you can play him turn 5, but I've never done that. But like, there is very few, like, it's so situational. So there's so few cards here that I think I would just want to play on turn 3. And others, Rhino's okay situation. Like I said, if you see like Limbo, if it's something like that, then you might want to hide your Rhino. If there's like, it's something like what's that, Death Domain. If there's Death Domain and then you play Rhino on top of that, you want to destroy Death Domain on turn 6 and maybe not on turn 3, right? But you can play turn 3 if you feel like the locations or whatever. You can play him turn 3. It doesn't hurt, right? So yeah, there's a lot of things. I think, let me see. Brood, Rogue, Surfer. Rogue's another card that, now I will say, you might want to, in a conquest setting, you might really want to wait to play your Rogue on like a later turn. You might really want to like not even like a later turn, a later game. Like you might want to scout out their deck and be like, okay, this is a Devil Dinosaur deck, this is an Iron Man deck, this is a whatever deck, right? So then you hold your Rogues and at the optimal time. Now, there are also times where if they have a lot of ongoing cards, you might want to go ahead and play Rogue early to snipe some specific ability. Like, if they have Iron Man and they're playing like Iron Man Onslaught, you're not going to see this on Conquest. But let's just say they are playing Iron Man Onslaught and you play Rogue turn 6, you might get Onslaught's ability, and that's not as useful as Iron Man. So, and if you take Iron Man's ability, Onslaught becomes kind of useless. So there's a lot of give and take when it comes to playing cards. And you like when you climbing a ladder, you can play a card anytime. Just play it. Just play the card, and because you're not gonna see that person again. Hopefully not. Whatever. At least you might be playing a different deck, right? But just play it. You're playing conquest. You're playing the same person like a lot, so you need to kind of conserve your hand a little bit. Keep some of those surprises in there. That's why I think a lot of like Galactus plays are pretty strong because of the Doc Ock. Like Doc Ock is pretty darn tough to counter. Like not counter, but you see a lot of cards that you might have not wanted to show. So, but anyways, yeah, Rogue's card you want to kind of wait on. Killmonger's another card, but I can risk like and think about this too. You're playing Killmonger turn 3 on your first game, and now they know, oh, I gotta hold all my one cost because he has Killmonger or something like that, right? Once Shadow King comes out, then he's out. Like when I say this is a good, I don't know how consistent this deck is in a drawn out game. I know in a they not like this. It's a big like surprise deck. I think a lot of cards surprising. No one expects Shadow King. That's for sure. Rogue maybe, but Rogue's still on the low end, and you don't see her often. So it's kind of some very big surprise cards. And then Juggernaut's another just kind of lane winner. Especially if we get Professor. It's a lot of options here, and they all work well. Like I said, and if we get Spider Ham, Professor X is okay. If he gets hammed, cool. We can still win without him, for sure. Sentinel is a curve card, so I sometimes hate only playing turn 3. So Sentinel's a card, since we're not running Sarah, if we don't have Professor X, we play Sentinel turn 2. Hopefully we draw him early, and turn 5. Turn 2 and 5, and that's it for him. So, not that it matters too much, but I guess if we're playing a Devil Dinosaur deck and we take Devil Dinosaur's ability, he kind of helps us a little bit there. Not that that's so niche, but yeah. So other than that, I think you can make some if you want to use this deck, you can make some adjustments. One, Sentinel for sure can get adjusted, and then secondly, Professor X. If you really want that Sarah player, but I think long as if you set up pretty early, and you can get your Professor off successfully. Professor X is so goated. I'm gonna say I know I have a lot of boosters with him at this point, and he's still not even an infinite card on my thing. So many cards. Yeah, that's what we're gonna spend all our credit on the next video. So I think that's really all I want to say here. We're almost at 9,000 credit. I have not even been trying to save up. I just haven't had time to upgrade the cards. I haven't been on here as much. I've been on here just to get my daily reward and then I bounce. So one thing I want to point out for you guys is we'll have another video for that. So if you want to see that, let's open use 9,000. I'll wait till I get 9,000, then I'll make a video. It'll be called 9,000 credit boot or something like that. However many boxes we end up opening. But I expect to probably go ahead and get 3 to 4, maybe even definitely 3 minimum new cards, I think, with 8,000. And I don't even know who all is left for me to unlock. It's not a lot. Let me see real quick. I think, how do I sort these out quicker? It's really just the new cards. Let me see. If I go by quality, right, should pick. You would think that would automatically put, oh, okay, let me down then. Because, yeah, I'm going to say, you would think that it would be the base cards. So one, still missing Howard, Spider-Ham. I know we're still missing, and we have a good chance of getting him. I know we're still missing, what's his name? Silk, Jeff. Colossus almost blended in for a second. But I was like, yeah, we're missing Colossus, which is a starter card if I'm correct. Still one of my favorite arts of the game. It was the first probably variant I like spent gold on. We have every single 3-cost game card because I specifically made sure that because I'm a surfer player. Not really, but he has been like my main guy for a while. At least when he was broken, he was. And then Iron Lad, who I was thinking about, I couldn't think of his name. I could never think of that guy's name when I was making videos in the past before he dropped. I was like, yeah, I'm excited for that new card. And I could never think of his name. Kang, who cares? And oh yeah, Thanos, Living Tribunal, and Galactus. So that is it. The big bads. And whoever, let's see, hold up. I can tell you exactly who we're going to get first. We would have probably, already, we have a good chance of getting a lot of people here. Let me look at the thing, though. Who's on our thing? Howard's been here for a minute, so. And we already have Spider 299. Howard is, he's Series 5. I'm trying to think, is everyone I showed Series 5? If Living Tribunal is not living, if I already got High Eva. What's his bro name? Iron Lad. I forgot again, literally. If he is I don't mind pinning if he is sorry, hold up. 1 second. Can't pause the video and I can't talk right now. But yeah, if he's a 4, then I don't mind getting him. But I don't know how they're handling tokens anymore at this point, because I know I have noticed that I haven't been getting as many tokens, and I think the other day I saw like 100 tokens. I was like, when did they go back to that? Because after they made one adjustment, I was getting tokens like crazy, 300, 500. So it was pretty easy and relative to get them. Now I think they made some adjustments. Now it's which doesn't make sense, especially when you have this new token shop. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get ultimate variants because of I felt like the only time you was ever gonna consistently be able to get ultimate variants was the day what is it? The day you complete your your collection, then all your tokens just go to this guy or these guys. So, but anyways, man, that is all I really wanted. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, man. If you did, thumbs up, like the video. Like I said, we'll be back. Hopefully you can give that. We'll have gameplay for this deck for sure. So keep looking out for the gameplay. I don't have time right now to get it. Well, I could have, I guess, but yeah, I don't have time to commit to a complete conquest game. That's why we can't do it right now. But other than that, man, I just wanted to talk about it. I was excited last night. I just cleared 3 wins easy, and I was like, this deck has a lot of counters to just about everything, and it is probably frustrating once you realize that you can't probably beat it. So, and I have noticed that you can run into decks that hard counter you hard. Like, they will hard counter you. I mean, I've seen it. But anyways, man, like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, thumbs up. We'll be back with more. Please hit that like button. We're out.